Haven't been doing a whole lot with the Amiga over the summer because I'm just busy with other stuff, being summertime and all. But I have gotten some TF530 boards. I got a few parts, and this one I got the CPLD soldered on, and I got most of the passive components and stuff put on it, and I wanted to make sure I could program them first before I went with putting on the RAM and everything, but appears to have programmed okay. I was kind of expecting to have some issues because I had noticed that there's some people that had problems with the generic programmers, that there were some other steps they had to take to make it work, but mine seemed to work, so I guess I'll know for sure once I try to use the thing. I think I programmed them in the right order. I just did it from memory, and number 1 bus, number 2 RAM. Again, I guess I'll find out later. My biggest objective with that was to make sure, see if I could get it to work. One of the reasons I'm not in too big of a hurry to get it done is because I'm waiting on a kickstart switcher, and that seems to be going pretty slowly, and I'm not exactly sure when I'll actually get that. But it has kind of got me going on Eagle, though, trying to come up with making my own. I'm trying to make one off one of the magazine articles, and I'm just kind of toying around with that. I'm not real experienced with Eagle, so it's kind of a learning process. I did make a offset board that'll go in here, and it should set the 530 back. Should set it in there right about like that, to where I'll clear my daughter board. It'll just be a tight fit, but it should fit okay. I plan on, I've got a couple 40 megahertz chips. One of them's a C and one of them's a B. They were supposed to both be C's, but at $8 a piece, you know, can't really complain. This is a keyboard that somebody who's subscribed to my channel sent me to try out, because the problem I was having is with this keyboard adapter I've got somewhere here. When the keyboard's plugged in and you cold boot it, it like hangs the computer up for some reason. And we thought it might be because the keyboard wasn't old enough. You know, I get the one I'm using that seems to work. The mappings and all that is it's an old Windows 95 keyboard, PS2, and so he sent me this one, and I tried it out, and unfortunately, it did the same thing. It basically, as long as the thing wasn't plugged in, and I turned it on, it would get to the kickstart screen, and then I could plug it in and everything would go. I did notice that the mapping was a little bit different on this one, and so unless I can change the mapping, I wouldn't be able to use it with this particular keyboard adapter. So unfortunately, I still have the issue with the computer not booting with the keyboard plugged in. So I'm going to have to assume that it's probably just something to do with the keyboard adapter working with the A1000. While I was searching online, though, I did find some code and a schematic for a keyboard adapter that uses a PIC16 F628A, and it just so happened that I actually had one of those for some other project that I had been messing with at one time. So since I basically have everything I need to do it, because I've got the programmer and everything for it, I might try making that one and then see if that takes care of the issue with the computer not booting up with the keyboard plugged in. Here recently, the developer for HXC's been really pumping out some new firmwares, and this current one I have on here, I don't even remember what the number of it is, but it's not even the most current one, but the thing works great now. I only have two 2 discs on there at the moment, but a lot of the problems I was having have pretty much cleared up with the new firmware, so I'm happy about that. Now it's just mounting the thing. I have to come up with some way. I've been messing with different stuff, and it all seems kind of cheesy. It really doesn't. It just doesn't look very clean. Got this. I was thinking maybe I could paint that, and I could set up on the top or something for now. What I'd like to do ultimately is, if I could find an external drive that doesn't work, or even one that does work, and take the floppy out of it, I could get one of those drive switchers that goes inside a A500 and maybe get it to work on this to where I can use the external drive as the default 0. But here recently, I'm looking for those things. People want ridiculous prices for them. $175, $200 for an external floppy drive. It's like, come on, really, you know? So I'll just cross that bridge when I get there.